Hello, this is our embedded teach video for week 1, day 3 of our algebra boot camp, and it's on combining like terms. We're going to sketch and solve this equation below. For our example, I've already got my line drawn, and as we go left to right, I start at the left, and notice it has an X, but it doesn't have the number in front to tell me how many. And if we remember from one of the previous videos, if there's no number in front, you can put a 1, or you should put a 1, and I am. And then if I go across, I notice that it happens again on the right-hand side, so I'm going to go ahead and put a 1 there. You don't have to do that, but that just sort of helps you keep it sort of accurate in your mind how many triangles you're going to be sketching. So I like to do that. So now I'm going to start on the left side, and I've got my 1x, so that's just one triangle. And then I keep going. Got my 3, that's a constant, a number without a letter, so that's going to be a 3 cubed. And then after that, I've got 2 x's, so 2 triangles. And then on the right-hand side, I've got 1x, so 1 triangle. And then at the end, the 5 constant, the number without the variable letter, so that's just going to be my 5 cubed. So this is an accurate sketch of that equation. And now I'm going to use one of my new rules of math that we sort of previewed the other day. And that is that you can rearrange or regroup anything that's on one side. So I'm just going to look just at that left-hand side there with the 1 triangle, the 3 cube, and then the 2 other triangles. And I'm going to regroup them to sort of get them in order. And what I'm noticing is that, I could put my triangles together, and that might make it look a little nicer or be a little bit easier to solve. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do that in red. So I notice I've got 1, 2, 3 triangles here. So I'm just going to put 3 triangles. And then I'm going to put that 3 cube at the end. So I haven't changed anything. I've just reordered it so that my triangles are together. Some people call that rearranging, reordering, also combining, since I'm putting my triangles together. On the right-hand side, it's going to stay the way it was because it was already sort of combined up. You just had 1 triangle and a 5 cube. So I'm just going to leave that in blue because the red shows where I made a change. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and solve, and it's the same steps from solving as what we did yesterday. We can take away triangles if they're on both sides, and we can take away cubes if they're on both sides. Because remember, one of our other rules of math that we learned is that you can do the same thing on both sides. So I always like to start with the triangles, which are the x's. If I've got triangles on both sides, I like to try to get them together. So I notice I can take away a triangle on the right side, but then I also have to do that on the left side. And once I've done that, that's all the triangles I can take away. I don't have any more on the right, so I can't try to take off any on the left because you have to do the same thing on both sides. So now I'm just going to sketch what I have left. I've got these 2 triangles left and this 3 cube. And on the right side, all I have left is the 5 cube. But now I notice that I've got cubes on both sides. So I can take them down as well as long as I take away the same on both. And because we're always trying to get the triangles by themselves, get them isolated, I always go to the side with triangles. So my left side has the 2 triangles and the 3 cube. So I'm going to take away this 3 cube. And when I take away that 3 cube on the left side, I've got to make sure I take it away, which is subtraction, on the right side. So now I'm just going to do that subtraction. 5 minus 3 is a 2. And I've got these 2 triangles left. So since I've got the 2 triangles left, I'm going to go back to that guess and check method that we learned on day 1. I've got to put the same number in here that when you add it together adds up to a 2. Well, the only thing that I can think of with the same number is a 1 and a 1. So if I check 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1 does equal 2. So I got a 2 on the left-hand side, and I've got that 2 cube on the right-hand side. So I've got the same thing on both sides, which is what I want. And that means that that triangle is a 1. So I've just figured out that one triangle is equal to 1. And since a triangle is the same thing as my x, then that means x is equal to 1. And I've just solved the equation x equals 1.